ESOL Program Presentation by Sarah Merlino. ESOL services in the elementary setting. Our first grade through fifth grade students take the WIDA screener, and our kindergarten students take the KWAP screener in order to qualify for ESOL support services. How do students exit the ESOL program? The students must take the access assessment once a year. If the student receives a score of a 4.3 or higher, they are permitted to exit, but are closely monitored for 2 to 4 years. Once a student is registered in a school, the parents take the home language survey, and if they have answered yes to one of the 3 questions on the survey, they're automatically entered into the ESOL program. We have one ESOL teacher in our school, so she splits her time between my school and another school close by. She has an endorsement in ESOL and a master's degree in early childhood education. We have 13 EL students. 2 of those are Vietnamese and 11 are Hispanic. The following acronyms on the screen relate to English language speaking students entering and exiting assessments, the accommodations that they receive, and progress monitoring tracking goals. What standardized assessments are used to determine proficiency? The WIDA screener is an assessment that all students take in order to receive ESOL services. The access assessment progresses the EL services to see if a child is making progress or not. Like I said earlier, the access assessment is given once a year, and right now in my school, the students are taking the access assessment, and they will be for the next 2 months. My district uses the pull-out delivery support model. Students receive different service hours, so for my pull-out student, she gets pulled out 3 times a week. But if you have a heavy population within our district, then you may be the sheltered class, or you may have a push-in model rather than a pull-out, because the school that I'm in, we don't have many students that receive those services. How do ESOL teachers teach ELs in our school or district, or what do they focus on? Our ESOL teacher researches and delivers best practices, but mainly focuses on phonics for grades K through 2 and vocabulary strategies for the other students, the older, which is 3 through 5. EL students have a gap when it comes to vocabulary because they're not familiar with the content or previous content. So she uses the Think, Pair, Share model, as well as thinking maps to help organize thoughts within a reading, a writing, or just listening in general. What content and language standards are used to teach our ELs? So we use the WIDA screener standards, but incorporate those with our HTLS, which is our specific learning targets for our county. How do the teachers and ESOL teachers collaborate? They use a monitoring form every quarter about that EL student, so they can jot down notes that they want the ESOL teacher to have and can be given at any time, or they can also just have informal conversations saying, hey, how's so-and-so doing in class? Are there areas that I can help on when I pull out, just to help provide you with that same support? Monitored EL students have exited out for qualifying services. So those ones are not getting it pulled out model or push-in model. They are just getting monitored. So they are heavily monitored for the next 2 to 3 years, 2 to 4 years, sorry, and just to see if they're showing progress or not. The monitored students have already exited with a high score of 4.3 or higher. How is the academic progress of students who have exited versus those are support services or monitored? Again, they're using the monitored using tracking forms that are provided quarterly by the ESOL teachers, but also by informal conversations. And that's all. Thank you.